is your favorite NPCs, the way better NPCs, the only NPCs that matter in your life. Today we have a meet. Greg. Greg got a nice haircut, looking good. And Robert. Today is a fun topic. We wanted to do a fun video for you guys. Hopefully there's minimal slandering because we've been a slander account lately. Shout out Nintendo. Um, we wanted to give thoughts on 2021 leading into 2022 with games, hot takes in regards to Xbox, PlayStation, and the wonderful Nintendo. So with that being said, Rob, take us away on your first thought or hot take going into
Okay.
2021.
Of course, of course. How's everybody doing, by the way? Everyone's good,
We're
yeah?
doing great. We're
You'll,
doing
Hi.
you'll love it.
great.
You'll love it. You'll love it. So my first prediction or whatever is about hardware. And, I want you guys to, you guys don't necessarily need to have one, but it kind of covered everything. So maybe you guys can like agree, disagree, come up with your own. But my prediction, because I saw a rumor that said like all like the part shortage thing should
Mhm.
be like taken care of by like June-ish.
No.
So if that's
Biden's getting
true,
on it, man.
yeah, if that's
Biden,
true,
yeah.
if that's true, I think that Xbox Series S and X will be possible to buy in stores, not easily, but like, you might find them in stores by August or September. PS5s will still not be in stores until 2022 sometime. And I don't think we hear shit about a Switch Pro or whatever this year at all.
Uh I can see. I mean, truthfully, in the only stores I've been to is Target. I haven't seen either system in there. I've been to
Yeah.
Walmart maybe once or twice since the pandemic started. So I am yet to see anything outside of a display in regards to these systems. Um, I I kind of agree with that because even like last gen, I saw a lot more Xbox in store than I did like PS5 or PS4 Pro. When those slims came out towards the end of the generation, you saw those, but like I always saw way more Xboxes than I saw PlayStations in store. So I think I'd agree with that, especially with the S. I think we'll see a lot of
Yeah.
S's on shelves,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is a good thing because there's a lot of people that that's all they need, that's all they want.
Yep.
What do you guys think?
I
Yeah.
think
Go ahead, Greg.
go ahead. All right.
You go.
I think
No, you go.
I think
You
you're
were
right.
here
I
last
don't
week.
Oh, get fucked, Greg.
I gotta get my thoughts out, man. I gotta get my thoughts out. Yeah, I think that you're right on the timing. I think you won't see either till August or September. My only reason I might disagree on the Xbox part is because they're both selling everything they have, and the last numbers we heard were the fact that PlayStation had sold more. And I don't think that's necessarily demand. I think it's just what the supply is.
Hmm.
So I don't know what has happened since then that has made Xbox close that gap. Like, are they gonna end up having more out there, and that's why they're on shelves, or like,
Well, my guess is because of demand. I think like right
Mhm.
now, the winner of the month is whoever produced the most. So
Yeah,
I think like they'll catch up in June and then they'll still be sold out for a little bit. But I think the demand for Xbox is lower. So I could see the Xbox showing up in stores finally before Sony, which like I think
yeah,
they're still gonna keep selling out all the way through like early 2022.
I do agree. I think it will be like the demand will be more for Sony once we get to that point,
Hmm.
especially with the games that are coming out in the near term. Um, but I don't know. I don't know if either of them get to that point where their supply reaches their demand. Like
Yeah.
they might just still be selling out like hotcakes.
Wildfire,
That's
yeah.
that, and
Yeah,
that's
I
what
can
I was
see
gonna
it. I
say.
can see it.
Yeah.
But
That's what I was gonna say. Is I think S you might be able to find by the end of
Mhm.
the year on the shelf, but then Halo's coming out, so that might sell it even further.
well, I was yeah.
But
Not till 2022.
yeah, I think up through 2022, as soon as they go up on the shelf, they're gonna be gone same day. At the
Exactly.
end of the day, they're all gone.
Exactly.
Maybe Microsoft puts out more because there's less demand
You'd
worldwide.
like to think so with Halo.
But
Like it's
I,
gotta be.
but if we're talking about United States, I would say that it's not going to be in demand, or it's not going to be on the shelf.
On the shelves.
Mhm.
If it's UK, I don't think it's going to be on the shelf. I think other places in the world, yes.
But, like-
UK and United States, I don't think so.
Are they gonna like, if they have units to go to those places where they can sit on the shelves? Like, if their supply chain's good, they should just be diverting those to the UK, to the US to get them
Right.
sold right away. And I think, I agree. I think the demand's just so high for both these things.
Mhm.
Especially, I mean, the longer we're locked down and stuff, the more people want to buy them.
You know what's crazy? People are going to be in line for these consoles, like camping, like GameStops, Best Buys, and Targets and WalMarts for like 3 years of this console. Like usually it's the first like year and a half, 2 years that people have to camp. Like majority of the people can get it within the first year and a half. I feel like pre-COVID, when it
Mhm.
came to next gen consoles, maybe even a year, you usually can snag a next gen console. But I feel like the first 3 years of these consoles, like in regards to demand, in regards to COVID, like hopefully COVID is a lot under, like way under control within next summer. Like
Yeah, hopefully.
and demand and supply will catch up to each other. But I honestly feel like the first 2 years of this, maybe 2.5 years, people are still going to be struggling to like get a PS5 or an Xbox. Like I've carded X amount of PS5s on Best Buy, but the only option I have is like pickup, and then it's like
Mhm.
pickup not available, pickup not available, pickup not available.
Mhm.
So it like I don't even know like how. I know like they're fighting the bots obviously on like the internet. So I'm starting to think like your best bet to get any of this is going to be like waiting outside a store.
Yeah.
But you never know when when I worked at GameStop, our supply came in like it was always a Tuesday or Thursday. You never knew.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's gonna be random. People are gonna be waiting forever, in my opinion.
It feels like the Wii launch, like how that just went on for
Yeah.
years and years
Yeah.
of not being able
Mhm.
to find one. I feel like that's what this whole thing is going to be for different reasons, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And then-
I think there will be like when like Ratchet comes out, I think there's going to be more PlayStations available, right? Like kind of side by side.
They're gonna have to like
not going to be available.
bump up production
Right.
if parts are available, like when
They're
an
gonna-
exclusive drops for
Yeah,
both
they're going to want
consoles.
that. They're going to want that attachment rate to show like, hey, on this date when there's X amount of PlayStations available and this amount of Ratchet sold or Horizon sold. I think the numbers sold when the exclusives come out, those are going to be really high at the
That's
same
when
time.
the consoles are gonna skyrocket with
That's what
numbers.
they want to. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and like I was and before we close or move on to the next one, like I was reading in regards of like graphics cards, it's one single part that is like they can't get, and I don't know if
Mhm.
that's the case for the Xbox and the PlayStation is. I'm assuming so,
Mhm.
maybe even multiple parts, but like Nvidia had to go back and like re-release a 2060 and like a 10 something from like 5+ years ago, like cars that have been discontinued for over 2.5, 3 years, and they're like, we just don't have like the parts coming in for these new cars, like the 300 series.
yeah, cars are going through crazy stuff because of chips. Like,
yeah, all the chips and stuff. So I'm assuming it's the same thing with Xbox and like
Mhm.
Sony. So who knows? Before we move on,
oh,
Switch Pro. Go
yeah.
ahead, Greg.
that's what I was going to comment on too.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's what I wanted to touch upon before we move on. I'm not convinced that thing's getting announced in the next 2 years.
Oh, 2
I-
years.
That's my hot take.
Wow.
I'm
I
with
think
them, honestly.
I think Nintendo is about to make a killing off these Pokemon games.
Mhm.
If all goes well and no setbacks happen, the Switch Pro may get released, hopefully announced with that. I don't remember the name of it, the open world RPG Pokemon game.
Yeah, Legends are
That would be my like guess of like the perfect time for them to announce the new console. No, or new version of their console, I should say. Because it's Pokemon, everybody buys Pokemon. You make a Switch edition of that Pokemon game, it's gone in 5 minutes. So they're gonna make a killing regardless. Nintendo always does. But my thought is they would release it with a big like game, and that's a one of a kind game. So
Yeah, it's gonna it'll
that would
either
be the only
release-
time I see it coming.
Yeah, or with Breath of the Wild 2, right? If Breath of the
True.
Wild 2 is coming out next year,
Yeah,
it's
I was gonna
either
say.
Legends Arceus or
It's
Breath
not
of
going
the
to be
Wild
random
2.
in my thought.
No.
I think it's going to come
Yeah.
out with
Side
a
by
big
side.
time exclusive.
I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
gonna say my guess
100%.
is that it's launching with Breath of the Wild 2, and I don't think that game's close, especially after that direct. So
It's not.
Yeah.
that's why I'm like,
I
yeah,
think
no,
it's late 2022, 2023.
yeah. So I think the Switch Pro will launch with that, but that's not coming this year, no matter what
So
anyone
do you
says.
think they do a Switch Pro, or do you think, I mean, if it's not for 2 years, 2023, that 6-year jump, do we just get like, I mean, they won't call it this, but Switch 2?
If you
Like,
were
do
on the
we
last
get-
video, Rob asked this question, Greg.
Stop. Well, so yeah, I was gonna say I'm in the mind of thinking that I think they should just make it next gen. Like there's so many years removed. I feel like a half step is weird, especially with new consoles coming out. Like
Mhm.
Well,
One
what
of
if they
the-
take the PS4 to PS4 Pro approach? Or
That's what I'm
PS4
saying.
to PS4?
Yeah, we talked about last time. It's the
Like
iPhone
Last of
approach,
Us was
right?
on PS3, and then 3 months later it came out on PS4.
Yeah, I don't. It's like I think for me the only reason, especially if it's gonna be years away, like at that point you're like 5 years into the Switch. These new consoles are here. One of the appeals of Switch, obviously, the Nintendo exclusives are the main big deal, but a lot of people do like to play those third-party games, like
Yeah.
handheld on the road and stuff
Mhm.
like that. With PS5 and Series X and stuff like being a thing now, it's going to be way harder to third-party support a
Yep.
half-step jump versus like a full jump. Plus, I started seeing recent rumors that say that like specs are stronger than expected, and so if there's weight to that, then it is going to be a full jump. But like it's all rumors still. Like we're
Yeah,
not
there's
getting
like
anything
no
concrete
really
yet, so
confirmed about that
it's
thing.
hard to say. Like it makes sense because that just happened, but I feel like timing wise, to me personally, timing wise, I think it doesn't make sense to half step because then you got to support the half step for like a while so people feel like they got their money's worth and not ripped off before you take another jump. So then it's like, how long are you going to stay in this bubble? Sure, the Switch is moving units like crazy, but like, I don't know, like that didn't stop them from leaving the Wii. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Will it be 4K? I think absolutely not.
what?
So what is the current like resolution? Is it 1080 on?
It's like 720.
720, I think. Yeah.
Aren't there some that are 1080 though, or it
I know,
just
I think-
says it can be 1080?
Isn't the
I'm about to
handheld
go get mine right
720,
now.
and when you dock it, it can be 1080?
That's
I think
what
it's
I
like-
thought.
Sampled
Yeah, I think
up.
that-
It might be
Yes.
like sampled up
It's
to
scaled up?
10. Yeah,
Okay.
but
But it's
It's
truly
not like-
720. I mean, shit,
yeah.
those Mario games are the most beautiful 720 you'll ever see.
They are beautiful games.
yeah.
So yeah, I think man, Nintendo, I think they need to focus on like the games that are coming before they even worry about this Switch Pro.
Yeah.
And this Pokemon game has to be, because this Pokemon game could be like all, show and nothing. No, like the gameplay
Substance.
sucks. Everything's
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It could be mediocre,
Mhm.
which I doubt it will be, but you never know. Breath of the Wild 2 is going to sell and it's going to rate high. Zelda always does. It's in that group of, automatic 90 plus, 80, 89 and up. So, but yeah, I don't think that Pro's coming anytime soon. I don't even think an announcement's coming anytime soon. I think it's the last thing of their worries. I don't know who wants to start with their hot take of whatever console in 2021, but
What console do we want to tackle first?
let's do Xbox.
All right.
I can go if you want.
Sure.
Go for it. We'll
All
just go
perfect.
around.
All right. So once, and we were talking about this, I know off chat, just in our text messages, but I think once the Bethesda sale goes through, Starfield is going to be the first video game they announce as exclusive to Xbox and PC. And then that just basically signals everything that they have, minus like the, Elder Scrolls Online stuff. It's all exclusive to Xbox, PC, not PS4 or not PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
The predictions, all of it's being exclusive. Everything.
All of it. All of
Okay.
it. No, I mean, minus like the Indiana Jones, which is probably
Yeah.
What about
'cause that's
Fallout?
Lucasfilm and stuff.
all
All
Fallout.
of it. He
Besides
said
Fallout.
Elder
all.
Scrolls.
I mean,
Besides
I'm with him. I
76.
said that from the beginning.
Yeah.
I said they need to do that.
Yeah.
If you're going to pay billions of dollars for the company, you better be like, hey, this is ours. Like, I don't
Yep.
care how mad you are. Like, we're going to get it. And then that brings in, if you really want to play Bethesda games, you better go buy an Xbox
Yeah,
or a
but
PC.
yeah, but I'm saying so. Besides the exclusive thing, I think Starfield will be announced once.
I don't even know what that is. I need to
Like
look
they're
that
gonna
up.
Like
show
s-
it. They're gonna say, hey, it's Xbox things. Here's first gameplay or whatever. Once the sale goes through.
Oh, I do remember this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
It's
does
the
it come
thing
out?
I keep calling Starlink.
When does it
Yes.
come out?
No one
No,
knows. No one knows.
No, I'm asking you and me, like if you had a guess.
It said initial release date 2021. I mean, that's
A lot of people have been predicting this year.
I
'cause
think
they
it's a
said-
2022. I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think
'cause
COVID.
it's safe to add a year to 2 years to any game that was announced in 2021.
Yeah.
I don't
And-
think if they can't make it by late summer, early fall, they are not dropping a Bethesda thing when Halo's going to be coming out. They're
Yeah.
not going to bump
They're not
those up.
dropping anything
So
with Halo.
that would be like it could be January or February maybe if
Mhm.
they want to release games that in that time. But that's when I would think that I think early.
So
2022.
Starfield is going to be the first game they announce in regards to this
it's-
new
yeah.
like, deal.
Big, yeah.
Yeah,
And this
that's
is
it.
gonna
not
be
a Fallout,
like
not a new
a-
Elder Scrolls.
No, I think that's going to be
Elder
the
Scrolls
first.
way
Elder
far
Scrolls
away.
is
That's
confirmed
yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will.
That's the first big Bethesda one, and it'll be Xbox exclusive, and it'll be coming early 2022.
And this is like
Wow.
Bethesda Studio, so it's
Yeah.
in our
Like the
minds
main
it's
studio.
probably
It's
like
an
the
RPG.
style of
I'm sold.
yes, the Fallout, the Elder Scrolls
Yeah.
I'll
style.
buy it. Sold.
But I agree. I don't think they can rush it out, especially after Cyberpunk. They're the same style.
Yep.
Bethesda for years, it's the Bethesda bugs, right? And I think they gotta.
Dude, Bethesda's
Update.
bugs like release date are always so bad, but nobody ever complains about it like they did Cyberpunk.
Well,
Because it doesn't like kill the game bad.
No, someone
They're-
like Fallout 4 like killed my game bad.
they're
And
also
76 is
huge.
bad,
They're
so-
huge
76 is bad,
games.
Well, that's a whole different story. Rob, what's
opposed
your
And it says my
hot-
Xbox take. Okay, prediction for Xbox: Halo Infinite comes out this year, and it reviews. It's the best reviewed Halo in the last 10 years. So that's like
what is that, 4?
that's
Yes.
4 or
Since
5.
4, yeah.
4 or 5 in this one. So yeah, okay.
I'll even give it a couple more. It'll be reviewed better than
I was about
Reach
to
2.
say, is that saying much
the
with
best,
4
the
and
best,
5?
the best reviewed game
Better
since
than
the original
Reach.
trilogy. So
All right.
No,
I like
not
it.
better than Reach. No shot.
yeah,
I like
I'll
it.
do- in terms of this is my prediction. I'm being bold. You feel me?
I
So
like
No,
it'll
I'm
be-
just
I like
answering
it.
Greg. I'm answering Greg.
Yeah, so it'll be the best reviewed Halo since the original trilogy, but it won't set the world on fire because one, people don't look so bright on Halo anymore, and two, I think the gaming space doesn't like really. It's changed like so much, even since Halo 5, and I feel like the stuff people play in mass isn't like the style of game that Halo is. So I think it'll have like a really loyal fan base, but I think it'll be like overlooked long term in terms of people who aren't in the Xbox ecosystem.
But it's free. It's free though, so that's going to bring a lot of people to play it.
True. I think like when I think about it, I just think about what like people talk about a lot. And it's like those really competitive shooters, like Santino loves Siege, the streamers and stuff. They play Valorant and stuff. They're the battle royales. And I believe them when they say that they weren't making a Halo battle royale because I don't even know how Halo would play as a battle royale. But like I know people used to play like Team SWAT and shit in Halo, but Halo doesn't feel competitive in the way that I think like
COD.
people play competitive games nowadays.
When
And
you
so go ahead.
oh, sorry. When you said free, do you mean Game Pass?
Game Pass.
No,
Okay.
No, it's free to play too.
multiplayer. It's free to play. Multiplayer.
multiplayer
Oh, I
is
do
free.
remember
Oh.
that. I do remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I
Okay,
remember
okay,
that.
okay, okay.
So that'll get people in for sure. But I feel
Yeah.
like it'll have like a good strong month or two, and then it'll like still be played a lot by Xbox gamers because they like need something to
It's gonna
play.
have the COD feeling when
Yeah, but
before
it'll,
BR.
But it'll fade, I think. But it'll still like Metacritic wise, it'll have like I'm gonna say a 91. You know what I'm saying?
But
No
so-
lower than 87, but a 91 would be my guess.
I'll agree with you on all of that, except for the multiplayer thing, because since they're not going to be having a Halo Infinite 2, they're saying this is their games as a service, basically.
Yeah.
So their multiplayer, they're just going to keep improving and improving and improving. Like people that play Master Chief Collection now are like, this is amazing, right?
Yeah, it's solid. Yeah.
And so if they take everything and how much updates they do and adding content and everything to that multiplayer, I think it'll live on.
Yeah, no, I
Like-
think it'll live in terms of having like that base of people who like still play it and
But
stuff.
it's not gonna blow
I just mean
up.
like in terms of like say like a lot of people judge a game's success based on like Twitch shit, right?
Longevity.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it not doing crazy Twitch numbers despite having a super loyal community. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just want to know like what it is. Like if you're releasing a free multiplayer, are we gonna fall into some loot box traps? Like what are they gonna do to monetize? Is that gonna turn off old school Halo fans? Like what is this game actually gonna be? Like it seems like a somewhat of a departure from like classic Halo while also returning to it and some of the style.
Yeah.
Like I just don't know what it is yet, and I'm interested because I think it will be really good. Like the gameplay and all that, it's gonna feel great.
Yeah,
So
Halo
I'm
always feels
excited for
good.
that. I agree with all the predictions except for I don't think it comes out this year.
What's
Totally.
your Xbox
All right.
hot take, Greg?
So mine is I just forgot it because of the Halo.
Oh
thing.
no, I know what yours is. How long will my Xbox collect dust while I'm exclusives?
Nah,
Uh,
nah,
Oh,
nah,
Greg.
nah, nah. It's a great HD DVD player.
Hey, that's facts though.
Okay. Blu-ray.
no,
Oh, wait, does it have a 4K player?
It does.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
ultra high def DVDs. So that it's really good on that. My prediction is that they will make another acquisition that is on not maybe the size, but on the prestige level of Bethesda this year. I think that we have a lot of companies who are like going to
The
be
Warner
struggling,
Brothers.
who are like sitting here after COVID. They can't get their game out the door. They're going to need cash coming in. They're sitting there with dump trucks of cash ready to bring to any building and just dump it in front of them and say like, come become part of our first party team. They want to get this roster going. I think it there's something that's going to come out that'll probably like shock the world well, again. Maybe not a $7 billion deal, but
Yeah,
something big.
Yeah,
It,
no,
like,
yeah.
but like,
So
but like prestige. Like if I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna do this one, but like if they bought like Kojima Productions, or if they bought something like where it's a famous name, like a big name like that.
Yeah, those rumors have been floating around because he
the
had the
Kojima
thing in his
rumors,
background.
he had a
I
bunch of
don't think
Nintendo
that
stuff in
will.
there too.
I don't think that will be it. I'm just saying something of that level, where it's like,
Think it'll be
yeah,
a Japanese studio. That's what everyone's been saying. People in
Well,
Florida
it's-
say
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
because
know
of
if that.
Kojima. What if you get Kojima, you don't get Metal Gear, you don't get a new Metal Gear like exclusive, do
get
you?
that good Death Stranding.
You could get
Come on now.
you could get the Silent Hill reboot that they wanted
Death Stranding.
they wanted to do. No, my prediction was essentially kind of the same as Greg's, but was what we talked about when we did the what was it, the Gotham Knight video. It doesn't have to be Warner Brothers specifically, maybe could be Rocksteady, but their big time exclusive that happens in 2021 that gets announced, not a game that comes out, is going to be a superhero type exclusive that, you know, Sony has Spider-Man. Here's our, I'm going to use this as an example. Here's our Superman
Wolverine, sure.
or Wolverine. Yeah, Wolverine. You know what I mean?
Wolverine.
And this is going to be the hero exclusive that gets people to come to the ecosystem and be like, hey, we played Spider-Man. We can play Batman on both. We can't play Superman over anywhere else. So I think their big acquisition coming is going to be a superhero type game.
That's a good one. I like it.
Yeah. The only reason I could see it not happening is I feel like so many of the superhero brands have stopped like allowing for acquisitions because
Yeah.
of the licensing. They just want to license it out and collect the money, but they don't want, like, everyone wants their universes together, so they don't want to like give up a license.
Right.
But I could definitely see them making a move to pay a lot of money to get an exclusive game.
Yeah.
Again, like it's like the Bethesda thing. If you throw them billions of dollars, shit, man, you could have Superman all you want, you know, forget everybody else. But it's just, that's my guess. I mean, I think that's the best way to bring people over to your console is with a superhero. We can do Sony's hot take or prediction. Amit, what do you think Sony is going to do in 2021?
All right. At least by the end of 2021, Sony is going to have a partnership with Google, and they're going to work on cloud gaming together. So Stadia Stadia gets canceled, right? So Google has all this stuff. Are they just going to let them go, or what are they going to do? Nope. Sony throws them a shitload of money, and they're like, "Let's do this thing together. You guys have some type of infrastructure. We have all these titles. We have all this stuff. We need to compete with Game Pass. Let's do it."
Wow.
Yeah, that's a.
So
I like
not
it.
that not
I
that
like
it's
it
out,
too.
but they just announced that they're going to work together.
A
I
Sony
like
guy
it.
finds our video. Amit, here's your royalty, $1.4
Yeah.
billion dollars.
I like it a lot. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
that's a good one.
That is really
Cool.
good.
Fergs, what you got?
Okay, so we all know Sony's smart with their money. You know what I'm saying? You all know that they like to make sure that everyone on the Sony ecosystem feels better than everyone playing elsewhere, right? Right. So what they're gonna do, right? At some point this year, they're gonna announce another purchase, not like a studio purchase, just an exclusive purchase. They make their choices very well. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to buy exclusive rights to some Star Wars game that everybody like wants more than anything. Like, I don't know if Microsoft owns the rights to like future Knights of the Old Republic things, but I know there's like rumors of Knights of the High Republic or whatever is going to be
Yeah.
what it is. I could see Sony if Microsoft doesn't have like dibs, dropping like a stack of cash to get that game first or exclusively because they are very smart with their choices. And I think they're gonna land some type of franchise or IP that is like gonna be massive no matter like what it is. I'm just going with Star Wars because the Lucasfilm thing, I feel like it's an easy slam dunk, you know?
Yeah. All right. For mine, hear me out. Announcement at the E3. Death Stranding 2.
I hate it here.
No, I'm kidding. I'm
I
kidding.
hate it here. I'll see you guys later. Finish the video.
All right, my real one is that delay station, right? That's what we've been hearing. What we're gonna
5
get
years.
is Ratchet hits the date that's set now, and then Horizon hits whatever date they set for it whenever it gets announced. So it's not really that big of a vote of confidence in them not delaying stuff, but I think they've learned that they are delay station, and they're going to be very sure. And like that's why we haven't heard about Horizon yet, where usually we would have. Like I think we're going to get a 2-month, 2 months before the date, we're going to hear about it, and it's going to be basically gold, and it's going to be ready to go. And I think they're going to hopefully turn that around because I think this year they've been holding things a little tighter to the chest because they know stuff's getting pushed, and it's better to just push the stuff without us knowing it's getting pushed than to just keep giving us fake dates that disappoint fans.
Disappoint everybody.
Yeah, so I think they own the delay station, and they make it. They start hitting dates because they've applied what they've learned.
Well, it's smart that they got everyone hyped with their reveal, that reveal thing, and said like, here's what's coming out within 1 year, and then since everything's getting pushed, there's not any ill will to delay stuff. But if you're like, hey, we at least have 2 of the games that we promised, people will be like, that's huge, thank you for that.
Yeah,
so,
and like they have the easiest. Everybody has the easiest excuse ever to delay stuff now.
Yeah.
I wanted to make this my like hot take for PlayStation in regards to Ratchet and Clank because it's the only thing coming out. But I felt like it was just like to pick on the only game that I could pick on, so I'm not even gonna bother saying what I was gonna say. So they're probably gonna do their Sony thing, side by side with E3 or before or after E3, right?
Right.
And announce a bunch of stuff for 2022 and so on. I say Spider-Man 2 gets announced at E3, or not E3, at their Sony thing. They're at Staples Center or wherever they do it.
The summer event.
Yeah, the summer event. And from there they actually like give a date of like 2022. That's my big take that they do, and it'll be like a big shock that it was in production already and it's closed, but then it gets delayed to 2023. It's going to get announced for 2022 and get delayed to 2023 when it was always 2023.
I agree with it possibly being announced, but I don't think they'll give it a date.
No,
I think it's way farther out.
I know and like Greg said, they've learned with like giving their dates, and like now it's like what you'll see in 2020. They're being more transparent. But that's like my bold take that they'll give you at least a year. I don't know if they'll give you footage. Maybe they'll just show the name like they did God of War. But if they gave you footage, that it's over. That the hype train goes crazy. They give you footage and they give you a date. Pack it up, Microsoft.
I agree. I don't think it's that far out though. I think that's a game they know they can turn around.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Especially if they keep it in New York, which would kind of be disappointing. But also, like, where do you put Spider-Man?
They do the
maybe
far from home type thing.
Bit.
I mean, you keep it in New York because the whole Harry thing is happening.
Yeah, so like they don't have to rebuild a whole new map. They already remastered like the original with the new actor, which makes me think maybe they were like doing scenes with him for stuff already. Games. Right. Like I don't think it's that far away. I think they probably when they were doing Miles, that was a smaller team and they were moving on 2. Yeah. I mean they were setting up 2 at the end of 1. I bet they just started rolling right onto 2.
I wouldn't doubt that. And when did 1 come out? 17?
18.
September 18.
I mean, 2022 isn't unrealistic.
No, I don't. I don't think so.
I don't think it happens, especially with COVID. I don't think it would
Yeah, I was
happen.
gonna say, I think the only reason I am hesitant on that is just because we just got the Miles thing, which is more of an expansion than anything. We just
Right.
got that, and then there's Ratchet coming, and I know there's like different teams and stuff, but I just feel like they'll probably
But,
want
like,
more time to like fully flesh that out.
To piggyback on Greg's point, like with how they were setting up 2 already and they knew it was coming, the setup for Miles as well was already like in the ball was rolling as well. Like
Yeah,
probably
that's
when
right.
Yeah, well, no,
one
with
was
the
getting finished.
with the size of it, it felt like it could have
Yeah.
been DLC. You know what I mean? So like, I feel that.
If you're using like SSD and you have the same map in the same world and you already have that map rendered at PS5 levels, like half your work is plug and play. Like
I think it's. Do you guys remember the
I
game?
might be oversimplifying that. I don't know anything about game development.
No, I mean, they
Game
have.
Dev, fuck this guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
I mean,
mad as hell.
no, I think you're right. They have the map at 4K 60, right?
Yeah.
And they're just, I think 2022 makes sense. It's 4 years later, and they put out a small thing 2 years later.
So like, here's my thing with Spider-Man. Before we move on, like when you guys played the original Spider-Man and then you played Miles, did you feel like you're seeing the same thing in the city of New York? Like, did it feel bland or like you're just like, oh, I'm swinging and I remember this, and that?
The game's fun, but I definitely felt like I had mastered it when I first started it. Like I felt like I was playing the same game, just with extra abilities. Like it was super. Like when I played the first one, I felt like I was like learning to Spider-Man.
Yeah.
While
Yeah.
like when I played
Mhm.
Miles, I felt like I already know. Like they were like teaching me stuff, but I felt like I was pretty much like I already know how to play this game. Like I'm already killing. Like it felt like I never felt like it was bland because the controls are just fun. Like it's like a
Right.
good, like it's just a really good game, and they added enough to like spice it up. But it very much felt like that same game in a way.
Well, that's
But,
like
but I
how
love the story. I mean,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
story
Right,
is
no, no, no.
the
And
story,
I'm not
right?
talking
So-
story or
Yeah,
anything. I'm
the
just talking
location
like
is what I'm
the
talking
world
about.
in general.
the location didn't feel too repetitive because they brought you and fleshed out different parts of the
Right.
city.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
more
mostly
like
the
cultural
Harlem
and stuff.
They added
Right.
exactly that type of stuff
And-
too. Like and
winter
you're
themed.
always like you are in the north. You're in like the Harlem part
Right.
Mhm.
lot of the game.
And, like, New York
whereas
is huge, so
you're not up in Harlem as much in the first game.
right.
Yeah.
So
And so, like the example I was going to give, and I don't know if Amit and Robin know this. Greg, I'm guessing you might know this. You guys remember the Prototype series?
yeah,
That game was New York from
Uh,
1 and 2, and it like
yeah.
it felt like from 1 and 2, it felt like you were playing the same game both times, just with a different character, and like lighting and shading was a little different. I love the game, the first one. I didn't really
Yes.
like the second one. But that's what I hope Spider-Man doesn't feel like. But again, that is a
Well-
decade ago. So, there's a lot more that has changed in regards to game development and spicing up the city of New York. I mean, we've gotten so many New York games. So
It is a fear I have with it because it's like, how do you do that? The thing we have to do in video games where it's like, all right, you lose all your abilities and powers,
Yeah.
and then you have to re-get your skills and re-get
Yeah.
your power ups, and it's
Yeah.
like, how do you do that when you're trying to establish like, all right, we already did all that, and then
am I
don't know.
doing it again? Yeah.
Are we
Right.
doing that again? And
Right. So
Ah.
that is my hot take or prediction for Sony in 2021. Spider-Man will get announced at their event this summer. Nintendo guys, what is our hot take, maybe exciting take, or thoughts in regards to 2021 for the good old Nintendo Switch?
I'll go because I think this is my episode to just rag on Greg. So
Yeah, what is happening?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Greg misses
Um,
one episode and Amit just
Ricochets.
starts talking shit.
this ricochets all over the place.
I mentioned
all
this.
strays.
I mentioned this in our chat and in our text, and he gave me the thumbs down. So I'm just gonna do it here. Mario Golf is gonna outsell Ratchet and Clank for PS5.
What?
And I took that personally, Amit. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, thumbs down, you're right here.
I mean,
I
like,
don't see that happening, Amit. I don't think
I
that.
could see
There's
it just
more
because
Switches
in the
wild.
there's so many Switches in the wild. No one
Yep.
can get a PlayStation. Like that's like a cheat code win.
Yeah.
It's not based on merit.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I know I wasn't on the Nintendo episode last week, so you may have talked about this. I was excited for Mario Golf. That game looks like trash. It looks
Yeah, I watched the gameplay trailer. It looks awful.
it looks like they are just doing like the kind
A
of Mario
reskin.
in like kind of realistic golf
Yeah.
where and like it's just like the tennis game they just put out that people hated.
Yep.
Like
Aces, yeah.
what I don't know
I
if
don't
they
think
still
there's much
have it.
effort
Like,
going into their sports games.
like
Sports.
they almost should be like very cartoony and very
like
you know,
the GameCube
accessible
version
and
or
fun.
whatever.
Yeah, not like
Trying to make it
this.
realistic.
Like we're in a desert and we're in a wooded golf course. Like, come on, where's the fun Mario stuff that makes it Mario Golf?
Why am I not golfing on the moon or something?
We
You
definitely
know?
need a new Super Strikers for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. So
But like, if that game is anything like tennis, I don't know. I think people will talk like
that's a fair point.
like me. I was like, oh, I'm getting a Switch. Nah, like
Yeah,
probably
no, for
not.
sure.
Not for that golf game.
Switch Pro gets announced. You're buying it though.
Stop.
I mean, me and Greg are the same when it comes to new shit. We're gonna buy it. It might sit
gonna
there
get it.
forever. We're getting it.
Absolutely.
Oh, I thought you
Anything.
meant like in terms of like buying the golf game.
Oh
Because
no,
Switch
no,
Pro's out.
no,
I was gonna
no.
say stop.
Greg's not going in line to buy a Switch just
Well,
for that stupid golf game.
When Switch Pro comes out in 2023, the golf will still be $70 or $60. So
Facts
I
though.
True. Mario games do not go down. So
No
that's your
sales.
Amit thinks that will outsell Ratchet and Clank. Robert, what's your Nintendo take?
All right, guys, I'm gonna blow your mind. This is half a prediction, but it's half like fantasy booking because I think it's very possible. Um, so we know what year it is. It's the year of Zelda and Pokemon in one, right? And you know, Nintendo shows you what they're gonna give you Pokemon wise. You're gonna get a Diamond and Pearl remaster, remake, whatever, and then you're gonna get a new game next year. Um, Nintendo showed you what you're gonna get from Zelda. You're gonna get Skyward Sword. Yes, right? Yeah. Um, and so I was trying to think of how they could celebrate Zelda, and I was like, you know, like,
By making a tweet and that's it.
but like that's what I'm saying. Like they kind of gave a lot of love to Mario, right? So I feel like they're gonna try to do something for Zelda. And my initial thought was like, oh yeah, we'll get like an All-Stars collection, but like there's no way because
yeah.
they really want you to play Skyward Sword. Like they didn't talk about it for a second. They like really were trying to sell you on Skyward Sword. So they're not going to give you a collection of other Zelda games that people love more than that game because they don't eat that game's lunch. So here's what they do. Nintendo this year, because they haven't done it in like 2 or 3 years, is going to add either Nintendo 64 and or Game Boy through Game Boy Advance to Nintendo Switch Online. That way, you can play Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Minish Cap, whatever the fuck else is on the Game Boy ones. You can play Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Stadium 2, Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, Silver, Gold.
Dude, they do
Ruby,
that.
Sapphire.
Nintendo is never gonna have Switches in stock.
And all that in the build, because DS is when Diamond and Pearl were, right? So you go Game Boy through Advance. You can play the first gens as you prepare for the fourth. And then you can play all these Zelda games and all these Zelda games on our online service as you prepare for Skyward Sword. They haven't added shit to online in like a couple years.
It's so bad.
So, you know,
the NES and SNES,
yeah, you know, so one or both to give you something more to play, and they can pretend that's giving you like, oh, to celebrate Zelda and Pokemon.
People our age will be scalping Switches like crazy if that's the case.
See, I don't think they put it on. I like it, but I don't think they do that the online. I think they're gonna do one of those like GameCube or like N64 minis that you buy that comes preloaded with.
I bought 2 of those.
I
bought both of them actually.
NES and SNES, right?
Fatima got me one of them.
Right.
Well, so I was gonna say
that.
another part that like makes me think it could work as an idea is because of the fact that it also lends itself to Mario 3D All Stars being temporary. Because it's like, oh, now that we're not selling this, we can put Mario 64 onto the online service. You know what I mean?
I'd be so mad.
Like
and
it would all
buy it.
like play, it would all play in together. So I'm like, I think it's unlikely, but I feel like it's something that they possibly could do, and it would be kind of fire, but like also kind of a cop out, which fits their MO in my opinion. So yeah. Ambitious, but
Nintendo.
Greg, you picked a bad or wrong episode to miss with how much shit we gave Nintendo, man. You could have aired it all out.
Nintendo.
Would have been
Oh
too
yeah, Rob,
toxic.
me and Amit were really mad. What's your hot take, Greg? Or prediction?
we get one more full direct this year,
Wow.
and the headliner is Metroid
Well-
Prime 4.
Oh.
Instead of Breath of the Wild.
Yep, Breath of the Wild 2 doesn't. Maybe they say sorry, still
I
waiting.
mean, I can see it because we've gotten no Metroid news since they showed the damn name.
Are you saying that the full direct would be like they're in place of their E3 stuff, or are you saying like are you saying like
A direct outside of E3.
One more full direct. Like, I
Oh.
don't think there's gonna be like an E3, like in the way we're thinking of it. Like, I think, yeah, they might do a direct around E3,
yeah,
but I'm
that's
not
what I
saying
mean. Like in
it's
the
that's-
summer,
I'm not saying it has to be that one. I'm just saying we'll get at least one more full one. We're not gonna get
Xbox
a
is the only one
500-day
at digital E3.
layoff, right?
Yeah. That's
I don't
true.
think anyone will be at digital E3.
Yeah, I have
No.
a feeling they're just going to cancel it.
Like, why
Yeah.
would you pay money when you can do it yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Agreed
think
with that.
E3 is officially, unfortunately, because me and Rob love E3, is
I do too, but
it's on its yeah, the tear down our eyes every year. No, it's unfortunately for E3, it's on its last leg, and this might be bringing it out back and finishing it. So RIP E3. Hot take for Nintendo. I know you guys are gonna laugh when I say this. I'm gonna piggyback with Greg saying Halo's supposed to be 2021 November, right? And the new Pokemon game is supposed to be 2022.
early 2022.
Then
Yeah.
Halo gets pushed back to 2022, and the new Pokemon game outscores and outsells Halo Infinite. That's my hot prediction for
Wow.
for,
Wait,
for
wait.
Nintendo.
Outscores
We
and
have a-
outsells.
Outscores and outsells.
It will
Halo Infinite.
outsell.
It'll outsell.
It will outsell for
because
sure.
we'll have
I knew
Game
that was the
Pass, so-
obvious. That's why I had to add outscore.
pull up an old episode. We have a Scotch bet over that Halo getting pushed into 2022. So
Well, who took 2022? You, right?
I said 2022. So you're backing me. I love it.
I got you in the scotch. I'm good for it, and a cigar. Don't you? There was a cigar on there. Don't forget that part.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Nintendo will just do numbers and score well with this Pokemon game and make you forget about your Xbox and your PlayStation for 1 month.
I like the Halo being outsold because I don't know how we'll count the sales. For
It's just so
Halo anymore.
easy to like pick on Halo or Ratchet and Clank because it's the only thing I know that
Yeah.
like is for sure coming.
Yeah.
So that's
was
like
saying,
the
those-
easy
Like,
take.
Those
it's like Gears,
outsellings
though.
are so bogus because no
Say-
one
say
should
it
have
again, Greg?
consoles.
Yeah.
What'd you say,
Game
Greg?
Pass and Game Pass. Like,
Because if there are, let's
If
just
you
say there's
factor in Game
25
Pass
mil-
numbers,
Because
correct.
if there's
Yeah.
20 million Game Pass subscribers, and let's say if you say that's an automatic sale,
Essentially, that's an automatic list. Yes.
the last Pokemon Sword and Shield sold 21.
So Halo's
So-
gonna
But,
sell.
like, that's not
no,
how-
I want for sure. You click download, and I want the numbers.
that's
Yeah.
not how they count the sales though. Because I
I
remember
know.
with God of War, it got
Yeah.
like killed in
Yeah.
sales. Everyone's like, oh, it didn't.
And it was one of
sell,
the
but it
best
was, like-
games of that
yeah.
like generation.
Yeah.
Did I say God of War? I'm like Gears of War.
Gears of War.
Yeah.
I backed you on God of War, but yeah, I did mean Gears of War too. What else can we contribute to this current conversation? What else are we thinking? Any other hot takes or any other crazy takes you guys think for these systems?
2022 it meets nicer to me.
By 2020, wait, before 2022 or
Hoping.
or
Hoping for
Hoping.
before.
okay. No, here I'll throw one out. I think that Microsoft.
Folds.
This is.
This
I don't think it'll happen. But I'll
Google
just-
buys them.
they announce that they're going to implement like a new controller that has like the haptic feedback and stuff.
yeah.
How
like
about just
PlayStation.
doesn't have batteries?
That'd be
I'm
a nice
okay with
step.
it actually. I don't mind that because people
No,
get
it's their
rechargeable.
partnership with Duracell. They can't
Yeah.
never stop that. That's
Not
the
just that
only
though,
reason.
but if you get rechargeables, like not the battery pack, but rechargeables, like the PS4 controller died so fast and it got worse as it got older.
you guys
This
just
is a
dim
way
the light.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a way to counteract that. So I'm okay.
I'll say whatever that summer Sony event is, we see the hardware for the new PSVR.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Now that it's announced, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I feel
Greg,
that.
are you gonna buy it? Like you bought the last one?
No,
So yes, okay.
not till it's cordless.
I feel that.
One
That'll
cord too
be
many.
PlayStation 6, PlayStation 7.
Yeah,
Oh
I mean, I've
God.
considered the
Huh.
Quest. I'd rather do the Quest
When
than
we're
Yeah.
buying the consoles for our kids at that point. Yeah, I don't have any more crazy thoughts with it's hard to make crazy predictions for these generations. That's why like I really struggled to find like you guys really gave good ones, but like my best one I felt was the Pokemon one, and I wouldn't have thought of that until 3 days ago, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think just this year is tough too, because it's like
Yeah.
all my predictions are like shit gets pushed, shit gets delayed.
It's
Yeah.
based off like 4 games.
And it's like,
Honestly,
well, that's no fun. So
That's what was so hard for me with like the Sony
Yeah.
one, because I was like, oh, I guess my prediction is that there's no way God of War and Horizon come this year. We're gonna
And
get
that's where
one,
I thought you guys
one or
were gonna
none,
go.
but I was like, that's so easy. Like,
Yeah.
it's like what comes, what gets delayed. But like, I feel like the announcements are more fun.
yeah,
The purchases, like the big industry news, as opposed to just like this game misses a date.
Yeah.
And
I
we
don't-
we talk about that on all of our episodes. So
Right.
hopefully this was a little more interesting than that.
Greg, you have any speed rounds, or are we gonna just have a short video tonight?
1 through 10, how's the haircut?
I'll give it a solid 9. Solid 9.
yeah, I
Did
can
you
get
go
behind
somewhere or
that.
did someone cut it?
Oh
Or,
God, here
like
we
at
go.
home?
Hmm?
Did you go to get a
No,
haircut?
I had to go get a cut. I was like a caveman. It was weird. You have to like keep the mask. Obviously, you wear the mask the whole time, and like you
Oh, is this your first haircut in COVID?
like real one.
Wow. Good
Yeah,
for you.
dude, it was. That's why you didn't see me without the hat. It was.
Yeah, I did one Friday. I need one back.
There's a reason.
I've had like 3 though. So do we not have a speed round, Greg? That was how's the haircut? It was our closing thoughts.
Yeah, but I took my headphones off, so I didn't hear the number. I'll watch the video for that.
I gave it a 9. Nobody else gave you a number.
Nah, I agreed with the 9. I was
We'll
on
go
board
with
with
9, sure.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
I'll
thank
be
you,
nice to
thank
you.
you.
I'll be nice to you once today.
it. Once
One
today.
prediction's right. One of my predictions is right. Things are looking up.
Hey, can't get.
All right. Best movie you saw 2020. Like I think Golden
Ooh.
Globes are on tonight. So like Oscars. What's your
Best
favorite movie of the year?
You guys
Yeah.
can start. I got to think on that. That's
What did
Ah,
I watch last year?
shit. What came out?
Soul.
Soul.
Soul was
That-
powerful, dog. I loved it.
I
Yeah,
did
it's
like
really
it
good.
too.
I like
It
it
almost
too.
made me cry, G.
It won the Golden Globe for Best Animated Picture. So that was.
Let's get it.
I didn't see Tenet, so I can't cop out with that.
Let's see.
It was decent.
God, what did I even watch that many movies? I don't even
I'll
know.
say
man.
mine. Sound of Metal. Watch it on.
That was
Amazon
really good.
Prime.
That was
I'm-
really good.
Never seen that. I'll have to watch that.
Very good.
I'm just trying to think of what came out.
I'm about to drop like My Hero Academia.
It's speed round. It's just speed round.
I don't have
No one's
one. I
gonna
really,
hold you to
I really
this.
don't have one. I can't think of one outside of Soul.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
All
Okay.
right. All right. Final question. Spoilers, I guess. WandaVision final episode predictions. Just a quick one.
Doctor Strange is coming.
I still think Reed Richards is coming.
Uh,
Oh, here's another one. Here's another one. Are you guys all
Vision is
caught up?
not even there.
Oh, I was gonna say personality from the Vision that was created and White Vision.
Oh,
is
yeah,
just
yeah.
whatever. I
This
think
is
they're
full
gonna.
spoilers if you have not watched
I-
any
yeah.
WandaVision, by
Yeah.
the way.
I
I gave
think they're gonna
spoiler warning.
Disclaimer,
Yeah.
holy
I gave a
shit.
spoiler
Yeah.
warning.
I think they're gonna fuse to make one full Vision that will be the Vision moving forward. So it'll be like
So
a
it'll come
vision
back.
that can survive outside the hex, but all the memories and everything that he had from the hex moving forward that he created with Wanda in these TV shows.
So does
that'll
Wanda
move
get to
forward
marry
together.
that Vision?
Yes, if they want to get married, sure, yes. But I think that's moving forward. That's the new Vision.
Interesting.
He's not just some
Rob, have you been watching it?
robot
I
that
have,
kills
but I
everything.
don't even know where it's going. Honestly, all I can say is it is the best MCU thing we've gotten in a long time. Like I wholeheartedly believe that it's so unique and different, and it's doing some like powerful shit that I think like is really important and shit. Like I feel like after like Guardians, the first one, they got very samey. This is like the first one that's felt significantly different, and I like it a lot.
Yeah.
My
Little
hope,
review.
and just moving forward, I think I texted this to you guys too, but I hope that Falcon and Winter Soldier really tackles like how African Americans have been treated throughout the history, with past characters, like Tuskegee Airmen type stuff with like Elijah Bradley and all that kind of stuff. So, and Falcon isn't become the next Captain America, but they like he doesn't take on that mantle, and it's the Patriot's going to be, or not the Patriot, but
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, and then he'll join the Young Avengers, like
like with Black Panther, they kind of touch on America a little bit, but it's more foreign. Like this is the first part they can really tackle that with a show set in the U.S.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was this was very interesting to hear. We're doing a WandaVision video just
That's
so
next
everybody
week,
knows.
then.
Yeah, we're gonna do one next week. That'll probably be our next video. I don't know how to close this if I'm being honest with you, but I hope in the coming year when more games not get announced and released, we will have a better option of just bullying Halo and Nintendo and go from there. But I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, guys. Go ahead, Rob. You can say something.
Oh, I was gonna say, I feel like this year we're not gonna get anything exciting, but we're gonna hear a lot of exciting things. Like I feel like we'll get some crazy announcements this year, but I don't think
it'll
play
be like 2022, 2023.
I don't even think we'll get dates. Like I could see like Sony giving us like what some of their big hitters are doing. I've been hearing rumors about restoring old franchises. I'm sure we'll get an announcement about a couple of those. That would be insane or something. I don't think that's the one people want.
I'm just throwing out names.
But like, that all the Bethesda games, the other studios Microsoft has, the Breath of the Wild trailer that Nintendo will give you to keep you quiet. Like, just we'll see a lot of announcements, but I don't think we'll see any news for real.
Yeah.
And I'm on the record saying I'm fine with that because I have so much stuff to get.
He's got a backlog like crazy. So, guys, as always, appreciate the time. It was a lot of fun. And I will talk to you guys next week for our WandaVision episode.
Ooh.
All right.
Later, fellas.
Good.
Take it easy.
Yep.